The war is coming, Robin. I think we need to start to get ready for it. You know, hyping it up a little bit.
So, Oden's flashback is done. The longest flashback in the series, and if you haven't watched the previous episode about his life, go watch it. We go through his entire life from birth to death and explains everything. The Wano War.
The Wano War, the big raid on Onigashima.
Luffy have 2 emperors as his enemies. It's gonna be a hard fight for Luffy and all of his friends. So we have put together a list of people that could come to Wano and help the Strawhats or interfere in the war in some way.
Okay, let's start. First one, Jinbei, maybe his old crew. What do you think?
Yeah, this is gonna happen. No doubt about it. I would be very, very surprised if Oda didn't bring Jinbei and Aladdin and all the old fishman crew.
I don't know. I'd have to disagree, man. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm certain Jinbei is coming. But I don't believe his old crew is coming. I think
What do you think they are doing? Fighting the rest of the Big Mom crew? Or dead?
I don't know. Go back to Fishman Island or something. Take a vacation. If the old crew comes back, then Jinbei... He's like a fleet captain. And he's supposed to be a crew member of Strawhat, not a fleet commander or something.
Yeah. Next on the list, it feels pretty cheap as well. Nekomamushi and Guardians of Zou. We know that Nekomamushi, he's one of the scabbards, so he has to come to Wano in some sense, and he's out trying to recruit Marco.
For sure, they're coming. All right,
for one final heist.
Next? Marco and the Whitebeard crew. Ooh. Actually, that's what I believe why Neko is delayed. He's sailing around and picking up every freaking commander of the old Whitebeard crew.
The last thing we saw was him trying to recruit Marco, and Marco said that because of Weevil, that he was hunting down Whitebeard, the Whitebeard crew and people associated with Whitebeard. He was gonna stay in that village and look after the people that Whitebeard cared about. So do you think Marco is leaving that place too?
Yeah. I think the place, Weevil, got surrounded by the Marines. I think that's the island. I think that's Marco's island.
Pretty similar, right?
Yeah, it's the island, I'm sure.
Definitely.
And Marco, he's not there anymore. Maybe he left after the Marines is coming. I mean, he's not gonna start fighting the Marines by himself. And this is the best timing, man, after the flashback. When else are we going to see them? I feel like it's kind of like now or never, because later...
Final War, maybe?
So many characters in Final War already. They're not gonna stand out.
And I guess Marco is one of the strongest characters in the One Piece world. So he would be a good bonus to the Straw Hat gang facing 2 Yonkou.
And not only that, man, like we discussed before, Momo will finally have time to meet his true father, Yozu.
No, I am your father.
Callback from our first video.
Straw Hat Grand Fleet. What do you think about this, Oliver?
I remember in the beginning of the arc, I was quite certain that they would come to Wano. But right now, I'm not so sure anymore, man. It's kind of overkill with what we have already. You know, we got Supernovas, Strawhats, Samurais, and potentially the old Whitebeard crew. Grand Fleet on top of that.
Timing-wise, it doesn't fit that good, seeing as some of them were at the Revolutionaries. So, yeah, it's quite tight. And I think as well that they aren't that strong, most of them. I think Oda is saving them until like the Final War or something, when they can beef up and actually be super strong.
Are you trash talking to my boy Leo?
Of course, Leo is a piece of shit.
Oh, F you, man.
Maybe, probably not on the Grand Fleet.
Possible, I guess. The youngest, Yonko Shanks.
I don't believe this at all. It feels weird to say, but it's too early.
He's one of the dudes that will be saved for the last war.
Or some twist.
Or some before that, yeah. Before that, probably, to hype up the last war. Revolutionaries, what do you think about that?
I don't know, actually. At first, I felt a definitely no, but then the world government was starting to get involved in Wano with the CP0. And maybe. I don't think that the revolutionaries are that fleshed out yet to be brought into Wano, really. I think they will need more or less an separate arc or an actual storyline that like directly includes them in some way, more than that they will be thrown into the rest of the story.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're coming up straight after Wano.
Gecko Moria. Do you think he will come to Wano? He has a past with Kaido.
Yeah, and we saw him meeting Blackbeard and all that. You know, before I was quite sure he would come, but right now I'm not as certain as before, man.
I guess as well, if Luffy kicks Kaido's ass, he will fulfill Gecko Moria's dream in some way of beating Kaido. So maybe he will actually be friendly towards Luffy later on in the series, if they meet again. You put down another Chichibukai on the list here.
Former Chichibukai, Sir Crocodile.
Why would he show up?
He needs some action, you know? He's like
Maybe.
a wild shot. Maybe. Probably not. Here's some other factions, characters that could join the war, but probably not as Luffy's allies. What do you think, Robin, about the Marines?
I guess seeing as Drake is already there, and he's a part of SWORD, the secret marine special force, they could show up. I guess they panicked, or the world government panicked, when Whitebeard and Shanks met up before the Marineford War. So I guess they are very much panicking right now when Big Mom and Kaido is actually teaming up. Maybe it would be a good idea to send the Marines. Maybe they will send someone, or maybe send Fujitora. The last order we saw from Akainu was that bring me that Strawhat's head, otherwise you can't set your foot here again. So maybe he will come to Wano and help, because he seemed to like Luffy and is actually a good human being.
If they're going to come, they will come like in the last part of the arc. Like they're coming to take the leftovers. Weevil, Whitebeard.
Weevil.
Oh no, his name is what? Newgate Weevil, right? Edward Weevil.
Edward Weevil. I guess he's looking for the Whitebeard remains, the remains of the crew. So if Marco is coming to Wano, maybe he is as well, hunting Marco. It feels like a very much a wild shot.
Wild card.
In the entire...
definitely.
Yeah, who is he? What
Which side?
does he actually want?
Yeah. How strong is he? I think he got a decent shot of making it. Especially with the whole Rocks background and his mom backing. She's probably from the Rocks crew as well. Just get like all these Rocks pirates, Whitebeard and everyone together and be done with it and move on to new plotlines for the next arc. That's what I think.
Yeah. CP0, the shield of the world government. And then we have SWORD of the Marines.
Maybe...
It's the Pokemon series, goddammit!
Know that they've been in
and we
Wano
saw
already?
them... exactly, they are, I guess, doing business with Orochi. The world government is all about like keeping the balance of the world. So maybe they will try and stop the Strawhats from bringing Kaido down. It would be an interesting conflict seeing the sword on one side and the shield on another.
That would be cool,
and what that would actually mean for the entire like world government.
About the whole balance issue, I think Kim threw that out of the window when we saw his introduction. Like he's starting to act right now. No more status quo. Yeah, we've been teased by CP0 and Lucci since Dressrosa. Maybe this is all just building up for a huge showdown in Wano.
And the last one we have on the list is the mighty pirate Blackbeard himself. Do you think this son of a beep will show up in Wano?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll use
Why?
this opportunity take care of something else, like maybe attacking Total Land, not taking Big Mom's
Yeah.
Poneglyph. Who's your top 3 most likely to arrive in Wano?
Excluding Jinbei and Nekomamushi.
Yeah, because they're too
Uh,
obvious.
Marco, of course. And I actually think the Marines are pretty high on the list with Drake getting some help. And the third one, I think, is Weevil, of course.
It's basically the same, but exchanging Marines to CP0. Maybe I want to put
Yeah.
Moria in there some way. He will probably take the 4th place. Yeah.
Then we have the Strawhats, Kid, Law, all the samurais of Wano. We have Jinbei, Nekomamushi, probably more people from Zou. We have Marco and the remains of the Whitebeard crew. We don't know how many people Weevil has killed already, so we're not sure how many there are left, but probably a couple of them at least. That would bring up like the possibility of actually beating 2 emperors at the same time. And then we can throw in Weevil that is just creating chaos at the same time.
I could see Weevil like being on Kaido and Big Mom side first, and then you know shit ensues, and he goes to his own side, or maybe even I could see him becoming friends with Luffy, man.
Yeah. I think in the end he will be a friend of Luffy.
Yeah.
He feels very stupid, and Luffy is pretty stupid, so
Just
stupid,
like me and
stupid,
you.
see?
Yeah, and don't forget to give a like and subscribe and leave a comment and hit that notification bell.
Bing bing!
Thank you.